Awesome, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the All-Star Boxing Podcast. Got a really cool one because we've got our man, the now WBA Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion, Stevie The Spark. So I really appreciate you coming in, bro. Thank you.
Thanks very much for having me in. Thanks for the introduction.
So we all know your fight with Montana Love. Cleveland, it was just recently. How long? 3-4 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. It'll be 4 weeks this weekend coming up, yeah.
4 weeks. Now, you've won fights, you've won titles, but... And, you know, when you win a fight, have a bit of time off, celebrate, whatever. But has this win been a bit different?
Yeah, I guess it was such a long camp for this one. Like, it was, 4 or 5 months for this. And, look, we were written off by everyone. No one really gave us a chance for this one. So I had a big point to prove to everyone else and to myself. So it was a sweet feeling getting this one, man. And, I said this is the fight that's going to change my life. And it really has. I'm in a really good position now. And things are looking really good. So I'm excited, I'm happy, and I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my team, and I'm proud of the people that believed in me because, we put in so much work and, it was a hard training camp. And, I'm just proud of my whole team and how we handled ourselves in before, during, and after the fight. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Now, you were heavy underdog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So on all the betting and that, you were like paying $11 or something.
I'll tell you something. One of my good mates, he won 23 grand on me.
Damn.
And another one won about 20, and a few sponsors 15s and 13 grand. So there was some big bets. And
Dang.
I mean, I was also paying $100 to win every round, which is insane considering it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm a knockout puncher. So yeah, it's crazy. Some people want some good money.
Damn.
I don't think I'll get those odds again. I think they'll be onto it next time.
Well, this is the thing. So you went to Cleveland. You were in Montana's backyard. You can see you were at the main event, which is huge.
Yeah.
Was that Matchroom boxing?
Yeah. This is Matchroom's first card. My first fight with them, yeah.
Yep. So Montana Love, heavy favorite, the champion at the time.
Title was vacant. It was
okay.
So when we signed the fight, we thought it was for the IBF North American title, but then 2 of the other blokes ended up fighting for that. And I think the reason being they wanted to get Montana rated with the WBA as well because he was rated with the IBF and that and WBC. So I think they wanted to get him rated with the WBA. So it was a vacant title. Nonetheless, though, we were going there to win. So
yeah, nice. And when I was we're all watching here back in Australia, and you could just see that you were kind of like your back was against the wall. Like everyone was against you. He was the hometown favorite.
Yeah.
That's his backyard. You were booed just on entrance, and then all of that happened. We'll go into the highlights shortly. And then even the post-fight interview, they were still trying to get a bite out of you. But what I really appreciated was you were still so gracious. You thanked everybody. You thanked Eddie Hearn. You thanked Montana Love.
Thank you.
Even though they wanted like some reaction or something, like it was your fault. Like even though you're the one that was thrown out of the ring and you could have like been a paraplegic. Like people overlook the fact that like they're trying to say that, oh man, you were being the dirty one, doing elbows and all this weird stuff, but he threw you out. So even though they try to, I don't know if they even did try to contest it, say that he wanted a way out.
Yeah.
He really wanted a way out. We'll go into it shortly, but you could see he didn't want to be there. I think there was a point in that fight where he was like, shit, this is not what I was expecting.
No.
This guy is really good. He's strong. He's heavy. He's trying to push me around. And he didn't want none of it.
Yeah, and it was about round 5. I really felt the energy shifting, and the seesaw and effect of fight. Fights always go back and forth, but it was really starting to lean into my favour, and I could see his body language was changing, his facial expression was changing, and I could just feel myself coming on stronger and stronger. Like I was starting to feel better. Like even though I got the knockdown early, it was, you can catch people earlier on in the fight and that, but I only really started to feel comfortable around round 5. Like I felt his power starting to leave. I felt his sharpness was going. Like I said, his body language was changing. So, round 6 onward, I was really ready to start turning it up. And I think he knew that. Like he felt me coming on stronger as well. And when you got someone like me who can punch really hard, and I've always said I'm determined as fuck, and I think he realised that. Like I was there not just to make up the numbers. I was not there for his homecoming to look pretty in front of his home turf. Like I was there for a real fight. And I don't think physically, I think he was prepared. He looked in great shape. He was obviously trained very hard. He's getting paid good money. Like, he's an athlete. But mentally, I don't think he was prepared for that fight.
Yep.
I think he prepared for something else. And when it backfired on him, and it can be a dark place in your mind when you've prepared for one thing and then something else is in front of you. And that's a hard thing to overcome during a fight. And it takes a special fighter to be able to do that. And I don't think he's that. I think he's mentally weak. Ooh. And I've always said he's mentally weak. I can see that in his sparring sessions. Can see that in how he talks in the gym. They get around the gym talking the way they do. They're mentally weak, and they're not built like us.
Dang, that was good. I know what you mean, because I put up some stories because I showcased some of his sparring and where he looked dirty in the ring. And there's been instances where you probably had the same thing too. I've sparred for people over my decade of boxing where it has gotten heated.
Of course.
I have been kicked.
It's a fight. It's
a fight.
Yeah.
Like, we are in a sport where there's rules and boundaries.
Of course.
And people I've sparred have done dirty things where I've been picked up, I've been booted, like shit that's outside of the rules of boxing. Mm-hmm. Now, that type of nature can be carried. If you're one, not saying that I am one, but if you're one that can actually lose your cool in the gym on a Saturday morning, you could like lose the cool in Las Vegas or in Cleveland, like in front of the whole world. And that's your nature.
Definitely. So, and like I said, I think that's just the way he is in the gym. And, where we went to America and did our training camp, at Main Street Boxing Gym, they talked about Montana in the gym there because he did a bit of sparring and training there, and that was the word getting around the gym. That's the way he fights. That's how he is. He thinks he's too pretty and thinks he's too good, and he doesn't like it put on him. That's what everyone said. He doesn't like it when it's made into a fight. As soon as it gets into a dog fight, he won't want it. And
like you said before about you got to be ready for anything.
For sure.
And that's what makes you a great fighter.
Right before the fight, Brendan said, "Remember, mate, it's not over till it's over." And that's boxing. I never thought the fight would have gone that way. You play a fight over in your head as many times. I played that fight out in my head. I didn't ever see myself losing, but I didn't see myself getting thrown out of the ring. It's crazy sport, this boxing. It's not over till it's over.
Well, we'll bring up some of that footage. So this is what do I bring this on?
No, I think he's actually talking to his corner of himself, but he's saying he's.
This where you dropped him in that round.
Yeah. So I was looking for that short right hook. Brendan was telling me, look for this short right hook here. You see me prop to this right side here. I dip down. See how faint there, dip down, and boom, as soon as he comes in, just a short right hook around the left hand, and I come across his chin there with the right shot,
He didn't expect that.
Nah.
Even now, you see his face like, I'm cool. He looks daisy.
Yeah, look at the ref there,
I'm cool.
That's what Sparring
said he would do and said he could do, and he did.
Buzz.
Just across the chin. And it wasn't even a great shot, I would have liked to start landing some bigger bombs on him later on. But
when I was watching it, as we all were, but man, as soon as that happened, I was like, I was out of my chair.
I reckon there would have been a few people like that,
especially those they put money on it. You know what I mean? Wow. But man, did you feel so? Look, this is a big card, and we all dream of the platforms that you've just been on, okay? And that, things are only get big. We'll go into it later on, but things are only going to get bigger for you. But you look so composed. Like, the noise, you've been up against everyone, like the crowd, is all of it. You look so composed. You handled yourself where you don't let the pressures get over you.
Yeah.
What is that?
So I really, really knew that this was going to be such a big occasion. It's 12-round fight. It's in his backyard. I know I was going to get booed, and I'm mentally, I've been preparing for this moment for a very long time, and I've been in some big fights, with Brew Baker and Zoo and on some of the other big cards here. And, I just knew that all these moments have been preparing me for this special moment against him. I just needed the opportunity, and I told Eddie, give me the opportunity to show you how good I am, and I'll show you. I don't care who you get me. Just get me someone where I can show you and get me the platform. Mm-hmm. And, look, he delivered. And, look, this whole show over there in Cleveland was geared for Montana. It's his homecoming. I understand we're both under the Matchroom banner, but in their mind, they want Montana to win, to keep building him and who he is. So the whole show was geared for him. I was the B-side fighter, and that's okay. I've been the B-side fighter before, and, I've been with Brendan Smith for, nearly 11 years since I was a kid, 15. And, we work a lot on discipline and being very composed, at training, little things even in that camp, there was a bit where I had a bit of a shit day, and he would, get up me and talk to me about being composed, because he said if you do it here in the gym, you're going to do it in the ring. And that's where it'll come out. Like he said, you have to stay composed. And Brennan drills this sort of stuff into the kids in the gym from a young age. Like when we were 15, like it was drilled into us to, not lose your cool and stay composed in the ring, and, not letting any of the outside stuff get to you. That's all other shit. When we're at the press cons and him and Richard Hitchinson's are arguing, and, they're wearing the shades and all that on the end of it, like it's all shit. It doesn't mean nothing. And to me, I was like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm focused on the fight.
Nice.
Where like I feel like they are all focused on other stuff, So we're just very zoned in. And Brennan and me talked a lot in that training camp about how Mick Katsidis did it. He went to England and went to their backyard many a times, and he just explained to me how Mick stayed focused and blocked out the crowd. And I obviously, when I got to the venue too, before the pro fight started, like the main card, I jumped in the ring. Like they didn't want to let me, but I took my shoes off and I jumped in the ring, and people are in the crowd. This is like probably 3 hours before my fight. People are in the crowd yelling out, "You're going to get knocked out, Sparks," like swearing, booing. And I just wanted to take that in earlier in the night. I wanted to feel that early, see what it was like, and had to move around the ring and under the lights, and took it in. I was like, did about 2 minutes. I was like, that's enough and I'm good. And went out the back, just so I knew a little bit more of what to expect, because you don't want to get that shock to the system. But even worse, when I jumped up on the ropes when I won the fight, people were throwing beers at me and that. But to me, that doesn't matter. Like my next fight, I want to go to England, and I want to do the same thing. I want to silence the crowd. That kind of excites me, and I like doing that. Whether they're cheering on him or me, it doesn't matter. They're cheering on the sport I love. So
yeah, wow, man, that's just the best attitude. I've always had the utmost respect for you, bro, and it just shows exactly just how you handle yourself in the interview. And I was just, even though all that commotion was happening, put some footage in there, but all that commotion was happening, and they're just trying to just say, oh man, I can't see, and all these things, and the ref made a bad decision. He made the right decision. The ref made the right decision. Even he had his back against the ropes. It was attacking him. We're doing his job. And his job is to protect both fighters, which he did. Like, look at this photo here. Buzz. Yeah. Like, that's not boxing.
No.
And we spoke
if I
about
didn't tuck my head, my head's about 10 centimeters off the ground there. So it's a conversation of, but I landed on my feet and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, but we wouldn't be having this kind of conversation if I landed on my neck. And I could be paralyzed and career-ended. If I landed on my leg and broke my leg, funny, on my ankle. Like, it's actually crazy that I landed the way I landed and didn't hurt my knees or anything like that. And like,
it was at least a 4 meter drop or something.
It's friggin' huge. They're a long way up. And like I said, we wouldn't be having this conversation if I hurt myself.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Like you said, it's not in the rules of boxing. And the ref was pulling him off as I'm going over and trying to pull Montana off me. And he continued to do what he was doing with his hand, on my neck. And, when you're doing that, that's malicious. That's like, there comes a point where you try and get someone off you, and he's gone from one side of the ring to the other. The ref said break. You continue to go, then you go over the rope and push me again. That's malicious. That's not trying to get you off me. You have a referee there for a reason. And we are professional boxers. What he did was unprofessional. You break the rules and you pay the price. You've been disqualified. And in my mind, from the cut, he was looking for a way out, on the head clash. And that was unfortunate. He actually come into that head clash and made that happen. And, I was good to go, and he's over there complaining to the ref he can't see. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never in my course of boxing seen a fighter tell a doctor that he can't see or can't continue because of a cut. Like, it's normally us trying to convince the doctor, I'm good, man, I'm good, I can see. Can't see anything out of one eye. And here he is trying to get a way out, and, looking at it back now, then the doctor said, you got a minute to go, or I'm going to watch it for a minute or something like that. I've looked at Brennan, and Brennan's like, Stevie, go, you have to win this round, because if they go to the scorecards, we didn't, like, in my mind, I thought I was up by 1 point or even at worst, but we didn't know what the judges were doing. So Brennan was like, mate, go for it. Like, you got this round left, and they're going to go to the scorecards if it made it to the end. So, when we've come back in, I've just started winging, and again, he's tried to tie me up as he was, and push me out the rope. Like, in my mind, that's a way out,
Man. And so what's happened, like, that the past week, like, after all of that, and you took the belt home and all of it, what was going on? Was your phone going off? Was just
when I actually got out the back, the back room of my fight, like the notifications just is hectic, like all through the phone. Yeah, I have like my Instagram and everything like that turned off because there's always like too many popping up after a fight. But yeah, it was just like crazy, and the follows went up, but I called my missus straight away and FaceTime her, and it was just like, like we did it, so it was cool. And then called my son, and it was it's a good feeling, man. It's like the week after was cool. Like I did a few interviews with DAZN, and I feel like in a way it stole a little bit from me, like having it finished like that, because the referee obviously had to do his job and he did a great job. But I feel like a little bit of a nice KO victory was stolen from me in that manner. I feel like I was really coming in that fight and really wanted to show the world what I've got. But people got a glimpse. People did really get a glimpse of what Stevie Spark's about. And honestly, that's only 50% of what I can do. What I can spar in the gym and what I can achieve in the ring. I'm only so young. I'm 26 years of age. The world's at my feet. I
just starting now.
Yeah, like I look back at I have at least another 6 years left, and then I look at that and I'm like, okay, well if I got another 6 years left. And I look at myself when I was 20 years old. I'm 26 now, and I was 20. I'm like, man, 20-year-old me wasn't shit on me now. Like, so what I'm going to be in another 6 years is crazy. Like, I'm excited. Like, everyone knows me as this puncher, and like I'm strong and that. But I'm excited to keep growing my boxing skill. Like, I want to be able to show people I can box too, and I want to mix it with the world's best. And I have to keep learning. So I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to get back in the gym and keep learning my craft, because it's about consistency. This sport, you have to be consistent. And like I've only had 18 fights now, and I'm just excited for the future. It's going to be a big future, I believe.
It's just kickstarting now. How long have you been boxing for now?
I started when I was about 13. Yeah, 13. And
so 13 years roughly.
Yeah, 13 years of boxing.
What now at this point, like what keeps you motivated? Because we just spoke about before, boxing training, and we need to have that rest because you're in peak state and then come down peak state. You need to just mix up the training, just not even put gloves on sometimes, do something else. But what keeps you motivated now?
I actually got asked this question today. I was doing another talk in Toowoomba, and I got asked the exact same question. And I wouldn't really say I'm a motivated person, because motivation's like up and down. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm going for a run in the morning, like obviously I wake up, I don't feel like doing it. I'm not motivated to do it. But I'm a driven person, and I'm driven for a better life. Like, and I'm driven to achieve my goals and prove to myself what I can do. Like every fight, like when I won the Queensland title, I was like, oh, I won a Queensland title. That's fucking cool. And then it's like, oh, I won the Australian title, and then the IBF Youth World, the IBF Australasian. Every time I do it, it's like, it's a little like, you set these goals in life, whatever it may be, with work, sports, relationships, and you set these little goals, and when you achieve them, it's a nice feeling. And for me, that's what it is. It's about setting that next goal in boxing. And obviously my ultimate goal is a world title, many world titles if I can, but you have to get there with small goals. Like I said, Queensland title, you have to look at the big picture, but then make a plan for the little ones. And that's for me, just keep ticking off these small little goals. I think I'm known as someone who's always taken on really hard fights, and that's what the kind of legacy I want to leave behind, is someone who gave the all in the ring and fought anyone and everyone, and gave people great fights. But I just think I'm a driven person for a better life. I want a nice life. I want to be in a good position when I finish the sport. I want to have a couple of houses and cars, and be one of those fighters who's smart with their money as well, and not dumb.
Not blow it all.
Yeah, don't blow it all.
No, we'll do. You're definitely on path, and just the way you hold yourself, it just shows where you're heading.
Thank you.
So, how do you say his name? Regis
Pagaez.
Yeah. So
I actually trained alongside him when we went to America.
Did you?
Yeah. So we were at their gym. So
Okay.
where he was training, we were training. We were trying to line up some sparring with him when we were there. But unfortunately, he was fighting a southpaw as well, when Jose Zapita. They were like, oh, probably won't work. So, but we got some great sparring in there with Austin Trout. I don't know if you've seen it. I got some Austin Trout.
Man, when you had a photo with him.
He was tiny next to me.
Dude, because he looks big on TV.
I know.
Tall.
Yeah.
Man.
I was shocked when I met him. I was like,
dang.
It's funny. I'll have to show you after too. I got a photo with Zab Judah. And,
nice.
Zab Judah fought at welterweight and stuff.
Yeah,
and I make Zab Judah look tiny. Like, he was
Wow.
next to me and, like, looked like a midget.
Wow.
It was crazy.
And he was a welterweight.
Yeah, he fought at welterweight. And
Dang.
fought, like, Cotto. And I think he might have even fought at super welter. He might have stepped up super. I'm not sure. But, it was crazy, like, being next to Austin Trout. Like, sparring him was, like, he was great. Austin Trout was really awesome. We sparred about 3 times. And, yeah, he gave me some really, really great pointers. Like he knew Montana and done some rounds with Montana as well and seen him spar. So it was really good to get some advice on him. He's a really nice guy and I can't thank him enough.
Wow.
And also got to spar Shaq Foster. He's a super featherweight who's fighting for the WBC title next year.
Wow.
And he was really sharp. He was very similar to Montana, so it worked out really well. He's a bit of a switch fighter, and they jumped in and did some rounds with us, and they were interesting rounds.
Man.
It was good. You know, it was really good to get there. Like we landed on the Tuesday, 6 a.m. went straight to the gym and trained at 9 a.m. Then I sparred the next day on the Wednesday. So I was like, I feel a bit fatigued today. Brendan's like, mate, you just got off at like 20 hours of traveling over here. Like, don't put too much pressure on yourself. I was like, yeah, true, yeah.
And look, you know, you're now where we all used to once dream. And would you say you're obviously a world champion now, but now that you're sparring these top guys that we used to watch on TV, you know, Austin Trout fighting Canelo, all of them, when you spar them, is there much of a gap?
No.
Because we think, man, that's way over there, but you're now rubbing shoulders and punching on with these guys.
No, there's definitely not. Like I went over there and I think they thought, you know, oh yeah, just this Aussie kid, and like I did more than hold my own with all of them. Like give it to them a lot, and I know a lot of the sparring stories actually got back to Montana.
Oh really?
Yeah, because they would have, and because he mentioned something at the press corner. He's like, oh, I hear you got some good rounds in and down in Texas there, and that. So he knew who we were sparring, which we knew some of the stories we'd get back. So I had some good sparring sessions there, but you know, like I said, sparring is sparring. You know, you can jump in there, and some people aren't just good sparrers, and they hop in the ring and they just light up on fight night. You know, so I always take sparring with a grain of salt. But yeah, it's really good to get in there with these fellas and be able to mix it with them and learn off them. Like, you know, watching him fight Canelo Alvarez, and then, you know, fast forward however many years now, and I'm in the ring with him sparring. Like, is it a little bit of a pinch yourself moment? But it's like, this is what I feel like I'm born to do. You know, I really dreamed of this sort of stuff when I was a kid, and making it happen. And I feel like sometimes people hate to admit this, but I feel like there's a big element of luck involved with fighting. You know, I really do. Yeah. And
that's taking those fights that kind of get you there. You can go down so many different paths. And look at Eddie Hearn now in Australia, and you guys had a copy together. Now you guys are teamed up.
Yeah.
So look at this.
And then obviously there's that saying, what is it? It's like luck's when preparation meets opportunity. You know, and I believe that's true. Like I've worked very hard and taken hard fights all the time, and you know, gone out there and proved people wrong time and time again. So I guess that's, you know, why it's happening.
Yep. And you don't let that affect you either, eh? People were saying, oh, you're the underdog and you won't get this and you'll get knocked down and blah, blah, blah,
I just think people are going to make more money on me, all my mates. It's good.
Yeah. Dude, so this list.
Yeah.
So you're now ranked number 13.
Yep, 13 in the world on box rank, yep.
140 super lightweight.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say some of these names. So Ryan Garcia,
he's one in front of me. Yeah.
He's now stepping up.
Richard Comey,
Josh Taylor,
number 2, Regis Brigais. Yeah, there's some big names there, and Arnold Barboza. There's some big names there. Like it's pretty cool to see people like Ryan Garcia and that, like right next to my name.
Crazy.
And he's only one spot in front of me. And who else is there? We got Jack Catterall as well. Like there's huge names. It's massive.
Who would you like to mix with?
In that list?
Yeah. What would make sense for you? Not like a wishful fight, but what would make sense if you could...
Richard Comey.
Yeah.
Jose Pedraza.
Yeah.
Arnold Barboza. You know, any of those guys there. Jose Zapita, who just fought Regis Brigais. You know, like, because he just fought Regis Brigais and went 11 rounds, I think, with him. So if I could go out there and do it in a better job, it says magnitudes of that. But the fight I really, really want next, and, you know, Eddie was actually meant to get me this fight originally. Like, this is the one he's like, oh, I can get you this fight. I said, sure. And it's Robbie Davies Jr. from England. And,
okay.
He's ranked number 13 in the world with the WBA, so obviously I've just fought for the Intercontinental title, so I get a good ranking out of it. He's number 13, you know, so the winner would go top 5, top 3, you know, so that's a fight I like, and also what excites me is going to his backyard and beating him. Like, I'd love to go to Liverpool and beat him or something like that. That'd be cool, like, just like I did with Montana. But, like, I'm in such a good position now, and got the greatest promoter in the world, Eddie Hearn. He's the biggest promoter in the world, and they're on the zone, all my fights now, and it's cool. Like, I'm in such a great position. He's got such good power in what he does, Eddie, and I'm sure he's going to, you know, deliver a big fight for us, whatever it may be. And whatever it is, we'll be ready.
Man.
Hoping to get back in the ring around March.
I saw Gervonta Davis put out a tweet. Did you see that?
About my fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he wanted the easy way out of that fight.
Yeah, so Montana and him had a bit of beef back in the day as well. I don't know if you've seen their sparring session, and they were sort of got a bit heated. So pretty cool to see, like, obviously Javonta and that are watching my fights and that, and they're around my weight. Like, it's crazy.
Crazy. You're doing this, bro.
You're getting there. It can all be taken away very quickly, though. So you have to keep up the work and stay humble and work very hard.
This is new. I wanted to ask you what these tattoos were.
Yeah, so spirit and ambition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, spirit and ambition. Where did you? What made you want to tag that?
I don't know. I was talking to a friend in the gym, and she really liked him for me. I did. I really liked him as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted.
That was new when I saw that.
Okay. Yeah, ambition and spirit. Yeah, just sort of wanted to put him on. Love him.
And then boom. What's Brendan saying to you in the back sheds before this fight?
So we spoke, like, obviously the whole camp about the person who wins this fight would be the person who keeps their head the coolest. Ooh. That was literally what he said all the time. And that's what he said. He said, remember, mate, keep a cool head in this fight. He said, stay above him mentally. The person who stays up mentally will win this fight. And he was 100% right. Sometimes I hate him in training because he's killing me in, like, some of those pad sessions and that. But, he's the best, man. I wouldn't fight if he was doing it. Like, if something happened to him or he stopped doing it, I don't know if I would do it because I don't know who I trust. Like like me and Brendan have been together, 12 years, man.
Wow.
And it's such a bond and like a connection that you grow with your trainer fighter. Like it's such a bond you grow. So we've been doing this for a long time together, and I trust him with everything. And so far it's all paying off. So it's great. Like he's very calm out the back. I don't know if you've seen the highlight video of what like the behind the scenes that Matchroom put out, and it was like going between dressing rooms, and it's like my dressing room, and I'm just sitting there like this.
Well, you're in the corner.
Yeah, just on the chair, just chilling by myself. And then it goes to Montana's room. There's like people everywhere. They're playing music. Yeah. And then it goes back to mine, and I'm just like this, looking around, just chilling, just conserving the energy, just relaxing. It was just about staying calm and being focused and having composure. Like I think the biggest thing that young fighters should learn is composure. Like being very composed. Like if you can be composed when the pressure's put on you, even when you're feeling the pinch, stay composed, keep a straight face. So I seen Andre Ward talk about this when he was getting hit low blows, and he's like, I never do it back or whatever. Said because we got more rounds coming. I'll get you next round. Go back to the corner, sit down. We get to punch on again. So just staying composed and staying within the rules.
Man, and that's it. We are professionals.
Exactly, yeah.
We are professionals, and Montana Love just showed what it's like to lose your cool.
Yeah.
So just for those that are wondering, what's happening with that protest? Is it not going ahead? So
nothing at all. We haven't. Me and Montana spoke on the phone, and
what happened there?
Yeah, so we're at the airport. I was at the airport. And he's messaged me on Instagram because I put up that photo because I seen some interview he did, and I was like, stuff this guy. So I put up a photo, and I was like, what happened, Montana? And I put up the photo of him getting dropped. He's replied to it, you're a pussy, you were gassing out. And then we just started going back and forth, obviously, as you do.
What an idiot.
And then he rang me, and we were just chatting. He was talking about doing the rematch. I said, I'm happy.
How was he on the phone? Like his voice? Was he like, I want this, man?
Yeah, typical. Obviously
Americans,
American. Yeah. So we're just going back and forth. I said, if you want to do it, come to Australia and fight me, and it's got to make money sense too. I risked everything in that fight. I went to his backyard, and like I said, I was the B-side. So if it's going to be happening again, I'm the champion. I've got the belt. I'm rated way higher than you now. So if you want to do it, come do it on my terms this time, and we'll see how you go. I can guarantee you coming into my backyard and doing it here, and he won't last. He'll get stopped. So, and honestly, I don't really think he wants that rematch.
Yep.
Like you look at his last two fights with me, and you look at his fight previously. He was on the Canelo undercard, and he got dropped in that one too. And he won on a close fight. I think by 1 point on both, or 2 point on all the cards. In my mind, he's a bad investment for Matchroom. Like what has he given to them? I don't think he's a top tier fighter anymore mentally. Like I think he's got the skills and that, but I don't think he's mentally there.
Yep.
But who knows? We'll see what happens. They're talking about him and Richard Hitchenson's fight.
Okay.
Richards and Hitchens. They're talking about him fighting. I seen on the DAZN show on the weekend on the Chocolatito card. He's said it makes sense him and Montana fight. And I was like, what about me, bro? I just won. Why aren't you calling me out? So he obviously doesn't want to fight. So that's fine.
And that's the thing, like, Man, you just look so much bigger.
Yeah.
You look so much bigger. And I'll get these photos of you too so I can put them up with Austin Child and everything. But, man, I'm excited to see where you go. I'm excited for you. So, congratulations with all of this, man. And
yeah, I'm excited for what the next fight's going to be. Like, the next one's, like, the exciting one because it's like, oh, where do we go now? Who do we go? You know, there's so many options. And I've got something now that people are going to want. You know, I'm in a good position, like, to get a fight. I don't know, Eddie Hearn told me he offered Chris Algieri a fight with me originally as well, and he turned it down. He said, fuck no. And also too, he said he actually originally offered the fight to Montana Love, and they were like, yeah, righto. Then the trainers rang back up like, nah, we don't want to fight him. That's too dangerous. And Eddie's like, well, you're doing it. So
yeah, nice.
You have to do it.
Wow.
And, you know, they took the fight. But, like, obviously, you know, people know and they know I'm a top contender now at 140. I've seen, you know, some of the commentators and things saying, you know, I'm one of the top contenders and one of the elite fighters at 140. So, you know, in my mind, though, I've still got a long way to go, man. Like, it is great and I've got a good win, but I've got so much further to go. I've got so much more to learn. You know, I look at these top boys like Josh Taylor and Rigas Pregaeus and, you know, I've seen him spar, I've seen him fight, and I don't think they're a long way away from me, but I still have work to do within myself. Like, if I want to be better than these blokes, I have to continue to have that mindset where I need to grow and get better. And, you know, because I want to beat these guys. I don't want to just get in the ring. I don't want to be another Aussie that goes over there and falls short. You know, I've always said that. So, you know, I want to get back in the gym and hopefully fight March and put on another great fight for him. I'm excited.
And keep leveling up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So, I love that, like you said, small bite sizes.
Yeah.
You're doing this one step at a time. You don't need to make that big leap and lose everything. You've got the next one, the next one, the next one. So
and it's just a great. Like, a fight I really, really want as well is, you know, Robbie Davies, obviously. But a fight I really want more than that is Liam Parry. You know, like that. To me,
want that?
Like, I picture it as this, right? Matchroom's trying to come to Australia. They're trying to make a splash. They want to get subscribers. They want to sell out shows. You want to sell out a show? Put me and Liam Parry on as a main event in here in Queensland. Like, that's humongous. I'm number one now. Like, he's behind me. I'm well in front, and I think it's a great fight. I think it's a competitive fight. He just come off a good win. So did I. You know, you could nearly get that for an eliminator or something like that with me and him. We're in such a good position with the rankings, both of us. So, and there's no bad blood. It's just, let's see who the number one is in Australia. Now, if they want that fight, you know, let's do it. But I doubt they'll take it next. We've asked for it. We've actually sent the message say, let's do it. So we'll see what happens.
That would be a blockbuster for Australia.
Huge.
You know?
And you know, I think it's one of those things. It never happened years ago, so it can happen now. We're both going to get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
It's going to bring a lot of eyes on it, and it's inspiring for young fighters.
Yep.
Reason being is they see two young Australian fighters, me and Liam Parry, we're both 26 or whatever, and we're putting it on the line in such an early part of our career. You know, that's inspiring for young fighters coming through about risking it. And myself, how much I've risked over the last year and a half, you know. So I think it's inspiring for young fighters to see that we make that fight happen too.
Man. Oh, well, Eddie Hearn, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Let's see.
Bro, you're the man. And I'm excited to see where you go. And thank you for coming on this podcast, man. And, you know, still making time for us little people. No, you know what I mean?
Never. Don't talk like that.
Bro,
always have time for you boys. Always.
Bro, you're the man.
Thank you very much.
bro.
Appreciate it.
I'll see where you go, bro. So thank you. And we'll do this again in the future.
Definitely.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Thanks very much.